Fantastic. Now, what are the key concepts of the blockchain technology? Now, we have few major basic concepts that will get you started. One is blocks. Blocks. So you want to think of the blockchain as block of what? Chains. So you pick I think when I came to the one that I saw that you use bricks. You know, you have a list of transactions. Don't forget we said that when transaction takes place all over the world, it is being captured within a time frame. So if 1 million persons make a transaction within 1 second when the block is reading, it closes within that 1 second. And others are being captured in every other block. Okay? Now, in that block now, it contains what? List of transactions, which is the list of transactions of people who took a trade or who made a transaction within that time frame. So, in a block now, we have a list of transactions, we have a what? A hash, we have the hash of previous blocks. The hash of what? Of previous blocks. Now, who can tell me what I said hash is?
The invoice number.
Yeah, the invoice number. So, the hash is unique. There are no duplicates. Okay, it is unique. Now, a transaction is a transfer of data, okay, or value on the blockchain. Like I said, from address to address, and what? Amount. When she gave us the content in the receipt, she mentioned invoice number, the sender, and the recipient. Their details will be on the receipt, right? So now, in the list of transactions, we are saying that what? A transaction is a transfer of data or value on the blockchain, and it contains what? From address. From address is sender, right? From address, which means where it is coming from. To address, so I'm sending Bitcoin to this young man here. My address is called from address because blockchain is also built on privacy. So, except I tell you that this is my wallet address, you will not know that this transaction is directly linked to me on a decentralized platform. Okay? So, if I'm making a transaction on the blockchain and I'm sending a cryptocurrency to the young man here, my address on the receipt will appear as what? From address. And his will appear as what? To address. So, if you as a data analyst, you are trying to know how much did I send to this young man, you will just, if you are using, because you using SQL today, so you just do something like maybe, okay, select address, okay, and to address, alright, and then amount, and then the table where that's called the transaction. I'm going to explain the details with that. And the moment you run it, it will bring out the amount I actually sent to him. And that is where blockchain meets data analytics. When you are a data analyst, you are armed with a very powerful tool because you better understand the market, you better understand, blockchain intelligence. And we're going to look into different career paths much later. Now, another basic concept is what we call addresses.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
before? You have told us about the hash, and you told the hash from the previous block.
Okay, yes.
The hash.
The hash of the previous Now, you know, I've already explained that blockchains are created in different blocks, right? Okay? Are you following? Now, the first block to be created on the blockchain is what is called Genesis block. It's called what?
Genesis
Or we call it the parent block. Okay? So now, the first block created is the Genesis block or the parent block. It has its own unique hash. Okay? Now, the second block that is being created will contain its own hash and the hash of the previous block. Do you understand? So, imagine I store a secret in the parent block. Alright? Now, the child block, which is the block that is created after it, will contain the transaction hash of what? Of the previous block. So which means, if you pick a particular block, say 10 blocks have been created, and you pick block 9. From block 9, you can get details of information from the previous block. Are you with me? Now, imagine after the blockchain has created 10 blocks, someone comes and mutilates or change the data on the 7th block. Right? So when data is changed on the 7th block, what happens? Would it be easy to notice?
No.
It would. Okay? So, it would, right? Because now, every information in the previous block exists in the current block. So even if you take out one of the blocks, you've not entirely taken out the entire information. Because the entire information exists in each of the current block. I don't know if you get my point. So I'll make it more clear again, right? I'll make it more clear again. If we have block A, okay? If we have block A and block B, okay, and block C and block D, block E, and block F, alright? The information in block A exists in block F. Are you with me? So, if you want to get an information in block A, you will see the information in block F. Because block F carries the transaction hash of the previous block. So, block F carries the transaction hash of block A, B, C, D, E. Okay? Then block G carries the information of block A, B, C, D, E, F. Are you with me?
Yeah.
Good. Now, so which means if you try to adulterate any information from the blockchain, what happens? It will be seen to be obvious that something is missing here. It existed in other blocks, but did not exist in this particular block. Then you are able to detect. Then you are able to do. I don't know if that's clear. Awesome. Now we have what we call tokens.
So that means that if you want to change something, you essentially have to delete the entire blockchain.
Fantastic. So if you want to change anything, you essentially have to delete the entire blockchain. Right? That's it. Now we have what we call tokens. Alright? Now, tokens represent digital assets on the blockchain. They are either fungible tokens or non-fungible tokens or smart contracts. Now, tokens are not the same as coin or cryptocurrency. Are you with me? Tokens are not the same as what? Coin. Let us put it like that. A token and a coin is different. Okay. Right? Now, because Operations within the blockchain is carried out using tokens. You get it? It's carried out using tokens. Alright? Now, it is different from the coins that are being traded on the exchange. However, an digital asset can both serve as a token and as a what? As a coin. But let's not go into that realm.